everyone doing after our little snowstorm this week? Hopefully you did not have too much trouble on the roads. Yes, they were a bit problematic, but let's think of this as our warm-up for the rest of our winter season. And now is as good a time as any to get your car ready for this time of year. Joining me today is Jason Luckey, works for Bridgestone, and you're based out of the Westminster shop, correct?
That's correct.
So we're here talking about, these are one of the big tire companies in town, and we're hoping that you can kind of help us out with a couple of tips for today. 4 points we want to make when we think about getting your car winter weather ready, right? Let's start with the tires itself, because you said you guys are really busy right now, people coming in to get winter tires.
Everybody's starting to convert over. They want their winter tires installed. They're looking to purchase new winter tires for their vehicle to get that better traction built for this type of weather and conditions that we're starting to see now.
And we know in Colorado, winter tires are necessity oftentimes, but even like when you go up in the mountains, it's really just a four-wheel drive, heavier chains. Like you can't be messing around in the mountains with your tires.
Absolutely, yeah.
When people are thinking about purchasing winter tires, what kind of guidance would you give them? Not necessarily brands, but just how would you shop for winter tires?
So obviously you want to focus, it depends on your budget. You need to focus on your budget there. Obviously, guys who like to focus on swapping out tires periodically, typically go with our Blizzak version of our tires. If not, there's an alternative called Winter Force that we utilize.
Okay, so just think about your budget and I guess tread, or is that kind of thing they should be thinking about?
Your tread depth, you want to make sure you want to at least have 30 seconds or more of tread depth to be able to get good traction. Up in the mountains, you want to try and have 6 or more.
Okay, good to know. So we talk about tires. What about batteries, your car batteries? What should you be thinking about?
Sure. Even new batteries could potentially lose 40% of their power in this type of weather. So you want to try and get that checked out as soon as you possibly can. Obviously, shorter trips can potentially be more damaging. You want to take longer trips if possible. And for those that have the ability to park in the garage, you potentially want to park in the garage so that the battery doesn't die as quick.
What's the lifespan on a battery?
3 to 4 years here in Colorado,
okay,
especially with the newer vehicles.
So if you're coming up on one of those years, that's maybe something to be looking into.
Absolutely.
And this time, right? Not deep winter like now at the beginning?
Exactly, and we give free courtesy checks. A battery check is part of that courtesy check.
Wipers and brakes.
Yes, super important. Wiper blades you want to have flush to the windshield of the vehicle, making sure that there's no tears on them because you want to optimize visibility, obviously. And then brakes are super important because what good is a new set of tires if you can't stop the vehicle? So brakes are super important to get those checked out as well.
Okay. I feel like this conversation reminds me of being a young kid getting ready to go out driving and my dad sitting down and be like, okay, listen, here's the things you need to think about. So if you could play parent for a minute to all of us adult drivers out there before we head out for this season. We've kind of talked through the checklist, but just any big takeaways about really being safe as we're driving in the wintertime?
Sure. Go into your local facility, get a courtesy check, get a maintenance check. Just make sure your batteries, brakes, belts, hoses, everything's in good running condition before the winter hits us. Yeah,
because you can prepare now so that you can be safe later, right?
Absolutely.
Jason Luckey, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for playing parent to all of us, us drivers on the road. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.